Can I just point out before you stop that Jared finally got a new microphone and his voice is all blown out?
Oh, is it really?
No, I'm just
Is my
saying, you sound like you've been screaming all yesterday or something.
Oh, my voice? You
Yeah.
mean my voice or my mic?
No,
No,
your voice. Your actual
Oh,
voice.
your voice. Oh, I probably
Yeah.
was screaming. I did Airport Minute.
Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones, Indiana. It's a podcast about Indiana Jones. Every movie, 1 minute at a time. Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones minute.
Welcome back to the Indiana Jones Minute, the daily podcast in which we look on Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with our own eyes, 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete Mummert.
I'm Tom Taylor.
I'm the intern, Jerry Porter.
And today we're joined by a man who was with us during the big truck explosion in Cairo and afterwards helped us try to theorize about how Marion might have survived, Steve Kreuch. Welcome back.
Kaboom! Hello. I am here. I still think she was in the basket. And the tiny in the back of the screen.
I've completely forgotten all the details of that entire conspiracy. I just know she's okay, and that's all that matters.
And today we are here to discuss a very Star Wars-y Minute 28, which begins with Indy cradling a wheezing kid as the Death Star explodes around him, and ends with Indy relieving himself on a hill overlooking Mayapur village as he listens to the gentle sounds of the Dagobah swamp.
What's going on?
Well, I just had to, Tommy, I would like to call it even Stevens here.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute.
Yeah, a truce. I did call you out earlier this week for saying Shankara stones.
Oh, keep talking.
Instead of Sankara stones. And you're right. Indy actually says Shankara stones. And I'm just wondering, is that, maybe it's the Americanization of it? Like, is the gap just between East and West just an H?
It could be. Yeah, maybe it's just a regional thing.
But maybe it's a Sri Lanka thing that they don't say the H, because the shaman calls Shiva Siva.
Oh, really?
So I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah.
a regional thing.
Anyway,
Well, it might be. I mean, do they call it Sri Lanka or Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I always want to say Shri.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I...
Well, if you do, I got nothing to say about that. We're
Ah,
cool.
Jer. I feel warm on the inside now, Jerry. Thank you. That was lovely.
So yeah, as you can tell from the beginning of this, from my intro today, as Indy cradles the kid at the beginning of this minute, it is almost identical in tone, music, and like the way the kid is wheezing to Luke cradling Darth Vader on the Death Star.
That
in
was a
Return of the
note.
Jedi.
Honestly, that was a note I had. Could this kid's breathing
Oh
be
my
an
God.
ode to Darth Vader in Han's fever dream?
Wow.
Like it's
Yeah,
almost
I mean,
identical. Like the
This
music,
asthmatic, this asthmatic little girl falling into his arms.
Wait, is that a girl?
Honestly, it is
Wait.
actually. It's an actress.
Get out
wow.
of here.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been in 2 other things that no one has seen.
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
didn't
according to actually, I was watching it on Amazon, and I had the X-ray on, and that pulls up all the actor names as it goes along,
Uh-huh.
Oh, weird.
and it pulled it up, this blah 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 actress, and I was like, what?
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah,
Crazy.
surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Well, okay, is she playing a boy? Do we know? Is it
We
like
don't
Joey
know.
D'Annunzio?
Worlds are colliding.
It's all coming together.
Could this all be D'Annunzio's fever dream?
I assume so. Yeah, it better be. Does Wheezy Jefferson? I'm just going to call her Wheezy Jefferson now. She comes in and she gives Indy the thing. He catches her and takes her mask off and looks at her with his own eyes. And she gives him, she says, Shankara. Okay, now, is she saying Shankara or Sankara?
No, she says Sankara. She
Okay,
says,
I wanted to.
yeah.
I wanted
Tell
to try
your
to
sister, Sankara.
You were right about Sankara. I have nothing but questions about this. Like
Yeah. Oh, by the way, her name is Darsana Anangala.
the actress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Darshana is the first name, Darshana. Last name Panangala. Village Child. She was also in the blockbusters Pinhami in 1979 and Handaya.
Like she must have been little in those, or else she's like Gary Coleman, or like she just doesn't age.
Jesus.
Wow. But yeah, she's got this scrap, and she knows what it is. She's saying Sankara. She knows what the significance of it is. It seems like. And she gives it to Indy, but like, I think what I'm trying to get at is that like this seems too easy. This is too like out of nowhere, like kind of bending over backwards to make something happen, which didn't really happen in Raiders. Raiders was very like kind of linear, like, oh, I got to get the Staff of Ra, so I got to go to Marion's, and that would bring her along, and then I'm in Cairo. You know, it's like all kind of like made sense, but this is kind of like, oh, we need to get Indy, more interested in this thing, and kind of set him on his mission. So we need this kid to escape, and like where did she get that? Where'd she get the thing? Like I don't know.
I was thinking about that too. I mean,
and why did she like
this kid? This kid comes from like who knows how far, clutching this piece of burlap that they've cut out of something really important to deliver it.
Yeah,
and and not just to come home. And they've got their like asthmatic, sweaty little paws all over it. How did the paint not run? How is this thing still perfect?
right.
And this kid actually ruined an archaeological treasure.
Yeah, and Indy hates that.
Oh, no, he hates
He's gonna be
that.
furious.
Well, I wondered, like, was the cloth Sankara message specifically meant for Indy, or was she, was Indy just the only guy up in downtown Mayapur,
Right.
at night?
Oh, I know the
Because
answer to this.
I'm
think
sure
I
you
do.
do. Yeah. But it's like maybe the message was actually meant for the shaman, and then maybe the kid was just wheeze blind. And they didn't, maybe they couldn't see that it was this white guy in the middle, or maybe I wondered this when Indy says, the kid gets carted off by her mother, and Indy says Shankara. I wondered if the kid was like, no, I gave it to that dumbass white guy.
Stupid white man.
No, but see, here's what happened. Like, so Steve, we have a theory going on that the shaman put Indy under a spell.
Wait a minute.
We who are right thinking have a theory that the shaman has put Indy under a magical spell, and that's why he's acting so nice, and that's why he's decided maybe he should go rescue these kids. And when the kid has that thing in her hand, the burlap thing in her hand, you hear the shaman's magic raven caw, which is always the sign that the spell's kicking in. And it's at that point that Indy, like the spell kicks in, and suddenly Indy's able to read Hindi, and he deciphers what he sees on the thing.
I'm not buying it. I think Indy's being super nice because he knows he's screwed in the middle of nowhere, and he is the only one in 1936 who has amongst his party who has a grasp, even the slightest, of this civilization and this area of the world. And I think that this movie, they're trying to portray Indy as having a soft spot for kids, otherwise he wouldn't be dragging Short Round around.
Yeah.
My biggest thing with this is that, like, why don't the adults, because right behind Indy are 3 adults, why don't they run to the kid immediately? Instead, they wait for Indy and the kid to have, like, their moment, and then they run over to him. Like, if my kid had been abducted and he suddenly showed up, or some friend's kid suddenly showed up on death's door, I wouldn't pause and be like, the guys got it.
Like, I mean, last couple of minutes we were talking about how, like, they go seemingly like half an hour talking about rocks and missing stones and stuff, and then, and our kids are missing. Like,
Right.
It seems like all these things are happening, like, right on top of each other in these last few scenes that are, like, very... Like, they don't make any sense, but they make, like, movie sense. Like, okay, of course, Indy needs his moment with the kid and to get the special clue from her, and then you can unlock the blue door, like this kind of stuff. And, but yeah, they should be running out there and, like, going to her immediately and stuff. And, but the script doesn't call for it, so they don't.
Well, I mean, we talked about this on previous minutes, Steve. Whether or not Shiva has sort of in Raiders, Yahweh sort of had a hand over everything.
Right.
Yeah, and it became increasingly more apparent as the minutes, dragged on, or well, not dragged on, but you know what I'm saying. But I meant that for this movie.
Oh, come on.
Oh no, cut that out, Pete. Cut that out. No, but so we're saying like, Shiva is appearing basically and has some control over the situation. Like the shaman believes that Shiva crashed Indy's plane and brought him to the village. And I'm wondering, so did Shiva alert the kid that, Cowboy Savior just showed up in Mayapur, and you got to get there with this burlap missive?
Yeah.
Well, I also figure maybe this kid has never seen, a Caucasian man or whatever. And so to him, he's a messenger of God, of Shiva and the gods as the kid walks in, because all of a sudden the kid is delusional and asthmatic and oxygen deprived, and sees this other and takes it as a god.
So you think it didn't really look like he pick and choose. Picking and choosing. Like, nah, that's not the savior. That can't be, that person. That guy's my neighbor.
Right. I know all about that Joker.
Yeah. Whereas this savior was just poured into those pants.
This guy delivered me from,
I can't give this to Sanjay. He's certainly not going to help.
Well, Pete, this one's for you since we're getting a lot out of this. Do you think this is a tribute to Philippides, the famous Athenian runner for the Battle of Marathon, who died right after delivering the message of victory to Athens there?
I do now. Yeah. I love it.
Well, to follow up on that, I think this kid is super hardcore to escape and run as far, because based on some locations they mentioned later on, like, so Pankot to Mayapur on Google Maps is 1,210 miles.
Oh my gosh.
Which on foot is 374 hours or 15 and a half days of walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, 15 and a half days?
Yeah,
Wow.
374 hours.
Well, I'm tall. I bet I could do it in like 14 days. Like I have a longer stride.
Sure.
But I'd also probably stop more.
Yeah, and figure the kid's asthmatic, so it's probably add another 5 days.
Well, maybe she wasn't when she started.
Yeah.
She's just like,
Lots of dust.
Still walking.
Lost her inhaler on the way.
Jesus.
So I like the Greek angle though, because this is actually I think this is probably northwest India or Pakistan, and there's a region there today called the Kailash region, and the people that live there claim to be descendant from Alexander the Great's armies.
Oh, well, there you go.
Be a nice connection, yeah.
Yeah.
Explains the elephants.
See, I knew that you would have something to say about that. That's why I kind of alley-ooped you.
Well, but we have the parchment, like the burlap message itself. We also get some good Fever Dream Star Wars references.
Ooh.
The text has been kind of defaced a little bit. It was written like when they were making the movie. They wanted to. It says supposedly, "Remain in the path of Shiva, do not betray his truth." And so they had a guy write it down, and then like a set designer got hold of it and it's like, oh, this should actually be like maybe have a little more of a flourish on this letter and then this. So apparently, you can't really read it anymore because they changed it enough. But that was the message. But it's interesting because the god shown on the message is not actually Shiva, it's Krishna. And you can tell it's Krishna because it's blue. Like Krishna is usually shown as being a blue god.
Huh.
But the Star Wars part comes in is that one of the epithets for Krishna is Mohan. And we may remember Mohan Solo from Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Right.
Oh,
And Mohan actually means the enchanter. And so, like, if you can think of anything more likely than Han Solo dreaming of Mohan being an enchanter and a god, like, I don't know what it would be.
Did you get fired this week, Pete?
I think I just got hired, actually.
By what? We have no idea.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like that C-3PO under his thumb. There's like a gold thing under his thumb that you can't make
No,
out.
we're way past that.
I guess so. Jeez, we're going deep.
That's good. Well, I spoke with Jonathan, my cultural ambassador at 7-Eleven, who's Sri Lankan, and he said that the woman comes out and says, "This is my child."
Oh yeah,
This is my child. This is my child. You
just
know,
like a mother to say that.
just like a mother, yeah. And I said, "Oh, bull."
The lady's like 75.
I mean, it's hard living.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Well,
just-
again, she
it's
might
a
be.
hard 40.
Yeah, she might be 30, and it's just she's dried out and stuff from the drought and everything, and the
Yeah,
dead
she's
animals.
lucky she didn't turn to dust.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, like so when Indy's looking at that, that piece of fabric, the lighting is on him is beautiful, but it also like his expression he lights up with a perfect expression. You can see the avarice
Oh,
in
yeah.
his eyes.
Oh,
Yeah. He's like, finally, jackpot.
Right.
You just you made me lose a bet with myself, Steve, because in my notes I said Jer's gonna say gold lust eyes.
Oh,
Actually, what I have, what I really see is my note is at second 50, we actually see Indy's O face, and
well,
it's
technically,
for
gold
you know.
is AU.
Oh, sure.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
The O face.
And but it's for fortune and glory,
Ah.
and which made me think, and it just begs the question, what does Indy like better? Tail or fortune and glory?
What?
And I'm not joking.
I think fortune
serious.
and glory. I'd say fortune
Yeah,
and glory.
I'd say fortune and glory too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he seems to have like a passing interest in any female we've seen him with so far. Or
Yeah.
like
I mean-
they're secondary. They're
Yeah, the women just come along in your search for fortune and glory.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
they're,
when he saw
they're not
Marion,
hard
he
to-
just saw a giant staff of raw head with a shirt on.
No, that was happening somewhere else.
But
I think for him, it's like, if you're searching for fortune and glory, women aren't a big conquest to him. Women, like the girl on Raiders with the love you, like they're falling all over him. So for him, he wants something that's a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Right before that, actually, in seconds 38 and 39, we have that chain gang mining sounds again, and it's right when Indy holds up the cloth, and this time there are tribal drums in the background too, and they're exactly like the ones played by the Temple of Doom Tabernacle Choir.
Oh, nice.
It's in the sacrifice scenes,
Yeah.
and also when he holds up the cloth, behind all that noise, behind the drums and the sort of mining sounds, which call to mind the kids in the mine and Temple of Doom and all that stuff because the kid just showed up. You also hear sort of that now famous wind howl, indicating Shiva's home
Wait, I
Yeah.
thought that was Yahweh.
or present. As you said to our good friend Rob Brode, Jewish, Hindu. Rob, haven't you all figured out it's all the same thing? You said that like 15 years ago.
Oh yeah. Those are
So,
the days.
I mean, Shiva, Yahweh, spiritual.
yeah,
Yeah.
I buy it.
Just depends on your, location geographically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
spirit of the
red
radio.
salsa, red salsa, green salsa.
It's all spicy.
New
You-
York
you-
City.
You were asking what all these fires are for, Jerry. I was wondering, like, the way the mob carries her off and the comparisons to Star Wars, like the Return of the Jedi in this, it almost looked like she's going to go put the kid on a pyre. And like, you're gonna see Ricky Schroeder show up as the special edition version of the kid next to like Yoda and Ben Kenobi.
Yup.
The Ricker.
Well, do we think this kid dies in minute 28?
I don't know.
Actually, no, I don't think
Okay.
the kid dies.
Okay.
No.
I
kid's a
wasn't
fighter.
suggesting it. Yeah,
I would like to think the kid makes it.
I do too.
That's very good of us. We're very
Although Indy doesn't seem
benevolent.
to have a lot of concern after he
No, he doesn't
sees
really
care.
the note. Yeah.
Kid
Well,
Schmid.
now at the very end of this minute, sort of that last scene, the very last, it kind of looks a little bit like a Van Gogh,
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
A little bit.
doesn't
well-
it? Yeah, it's sort of like a
Yeah.
Starry
I was
Night.
wondering,
sort of
like,
thing.
how far away did Indy decide to go to like find a place to have a moment to himself? He's like miles from this town.
Yeah. And then Shorty has to climb all the way up there too just to talk
Right.
to him.
And there are tigers prowling around there. Well, is this minute the first minute that they mentioned Shankara? Because they mentioned the Stones previously, but
Yeah.
they mentioned Shankara before.
Right.
No, they
this
do.
is the first. No, they don't.
Yeah,
No.
they do.
Yeah,
No, they don't.
because Jerry was making fun of you for how you said it, Tom.
Oh yeah, but I
Or
said
maybe
it.
you were just
No,
talking
we
about
said
it.
it,
Yeah,
but the
maybe-
movie didn't
yeah,
say
we
it.
said- okay.
The
Yeah.
movie, I don't believe the movie says it until this minute.
Yeah, no, this is him realizing, oh, this isn't just some fun lucky rock. This might be one of those Sankara things. There, I said Sankara.
You could have gone either way.
I
It could have been all right.
I'm gonna mix it up.
I did do a little research to try to find out what this Sankara is supposed to be, and it's like an in-movie legend that there was a Hindu priest who climbed Mount Kailash in the Himalayas where Shiva lives, and Shiva gave him 5 stones to combat evil, and those are the 5 Sankara stones.
Wow. Wait, is that like in a Wikipedia
Yeah, it's like a
sort of?
Indiana Jones wiki. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Indiana Jones wiki.
You want to know? I honestly don't get about that stuff. Is everything in like like the Wikipedia or Wikipedia? Is it all from actual like an Indiana Jones book or comic book, or is it just some guy getting online going, and then he went up the mountain,
Yeah.
and he got the rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a guy in his basement. I call those, that's like Wikipedia because it's like quicksand.
Right. Where'd Jared go? Oh, is it want to find out about the Sankara stones or something?
Yeah, and it tells you all sorts. All that stuff. I mean, Toad has a sister. What is it,
Yeah.
Elsa?
Sure,
Just
of course
stop
it's
it, man.
Elsa.
Just stop it. Stop it. Throw me a rope. Pull me out.
Right.
And or save yourself. Get out of your basement.
Yeah. That's our message here. Get out of your basement.
Right.
I know exactly. I'm recording from a damn basement right now. Never been so depressed in my life.
At least go up to the attic.
Well, I like that we end like the same way they show up in this kind of strange world with the Dagobah sounds again.
Yeah, Ben Burt
Like,
must just have like a outdoors library of sounds, just
yeah,
like creatures
there's
and
like
bugs
3
and
sounds.
things.
Yeah. But if you play this back to back with Empire, like it sounds exact. Like it's
I think he was probably
Yeah.
just like, no one's going to notice.
Hand me
I'm busy.
Bird 32.
Exactly.
That was more like Hand Me Bird 2. It's like it worked last time. I mean, why change it?
well, all right. Steve, you working on any projects or anything you want to tell anybody about?
Nope.
All right.
I am. I pretty much don't really do a hell of a lot.
That's what we like.
That
Yeah,
is
no,
exactly
I'm
what
not
we like.
working on.
Yeah.
Not working on anything but getting through the week.
And if people would like to get through the week with a little bit of extra fun, Tom, is there any place they could maybe go to do that?
Oh, sure. They could visit our website. They could go to indianajonesminute.com, where you'll find all of our back episodes, and you'll find Pete's incredible, exhaustive research into the reality that all of these Indiana Jones films are Han Solo's carbon freeze dream. And you'll find links to, you can go through Amazon through there. You can get buy our shirts and stuff from TeePublic. It's a good place to go, and we recommend it.
And join us, please, back here tomorrow again for minute 29 of the Indiana Jones Minute.
my child.